Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkazonki and welcome to a new video, and it's time for another top 10 video because it has been a while. So a couple top 10 videos ago we did top 10 minigames. This time we're doing top 10 D&Ds thanks to Lamont Smith's suggestion. So how are D&Ds different than minigames? Well, the main difference is a D&D is essentially a minigame that you can only do a limited amount of times. So something like pest control you can do all day if you want to. That's a minigame, whereas something like god statues you can only do once per month. So it's a minigame. Limited number of actions, that makes it a D&D. So in this video we're going to be going over debatably the top 10 D&Ds in the game, and if there are some on this list that you aren't doing and you think that they could benefit you, because of course all of these are very rewarding, maybe you'll find a D&D that is for you and that you can check out. So let's go ahead and get into the list and start off with number 10. So number 10 on this list is Evil Trees. Now the main reason why Evil Trees aren't high on the list, because they are really good, is just for the simple fact that they are time consuming and it can be really annoying to find a good Evil Tree, because of course Evil Trees spawn in every single world, but only the Magic and Elder ones are really worth going out of your way to chop, because anything lower than that, well, you can just do regular woodcutting at crystal trees or whatever, and it's roughly about the same in terms of woodcutting XP, which is the main reason to do the trees. The rewards that you get from when the tree is fully cut down are not usually all that great, so you're really after it for the woodcutting XP. However, if you are looking to train woodcutting, you can turn woodcutting into a daily and do 2 magics or 2 elders per day and train actually much faster in amount of time than you would be able to cutting ivy or cutting crystal trees or what have you. And that's why elder trees are still a very, very solid D&D that you can do 2 times per day. For number 9 on this list, we have Agoroth, and I'm not sure why, but I always get the feeling that not a whole lot of people do this boss, just because it can be kind of annoying to go out of your way. You have to go all the way to Ashdale to kill this boss, and this is another thing that you can do 2 times per week, and you can do both your kills back to back if you wish. So you can just go there, and it takes about 5 minutes or so to get the 2 kills, and at level 99 in a skill, it is about 40,000 bonus XP in any skill of your choice. So this is obviously significantly faster than training a skill normally, so it is worth your time to go do it. And the main reason Agoroth is on this list is because that bonus XP can be put in any skill. You don't get the XP right away, you still have to train the skill. However, it can go into any skill of your choice, which is the main benefit with Agoroth. So if you don't kill Agoroth already and you want XP, then it really is worth doing for just about every skill in the game. And feel free to check it out 2 times per week. Next up on the list is Penguins, and this one is similar to Agoroth, and you can put the XP that you get every single week into any skill that you want. However, how it's different, the main difference anyway, other than the fact that you're hunting penguins instead of killing a giant sea monster, is the fact that you get your XP right away. So it's not bonus XP, you can turn in your penguin points for straight up XP, and that's why I actually like penguins a little bit better than Agoroth. That's the main reason anyway, but also penguins can be really fun. There is a website and also a friends chat devoted to penguins called World 60 Pengs. And if you join that friends chat, there's always people that are calling out penguin locations on World 60, which is the home world for doing this distraction diversion. This is a once a week thing, and also doing the penguin related quests will give you more penguin points and also more XP that you can get per week. And it gets to around 40,000 XP a week in any skill once you're about level 99 in a skill. And obviously it scales with your levels, so it's a bit less than that if you're not quite that high of a level. But regardless, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to find all 10 of the penguins on World 60, as well as the ghost penguin if you decide to hunt that as well. And it's definitely a really fun minigame to check out, and a quick one to do once per week for a really good amount of XP for the amount of time that you spend. Next up on the list is number 7 at Tears of Guthix, which is another weekly minigame that you can do, and you do have to complete the quest Tears of Guthix to do it. Now, the interesting thing about this minigame is based off of quest points with how long that you can stay in the area collecting blue tears, and the more blue tears you get, the more XP that you get. It also is not based off of your level. It's one of the rare minigames that the XP that you get is going to be the same amount based on how many tears you get, no matter what level you are. But the XP does always go into your lowest skill. So as long as you have a low skill that's really annoying to train or really expensive, or a skill that you don't like, that's completely fine. But sometimes this can be annoying if you have like cooking as your lowest skill and you don't really want the Tears of Guthix XP to go into one of the easiest skills in the game. However, the more quest points you have, the better this minigame becomes, and also if you get the upgraded bowl at level 80 crafting and mining, which you can increase the amount of XP that you get from this D&D, it gets to up to around 50 to 60k XP every single week that you do it. So this is definitely a very, very worthwhile minigame to do. One of my personal favorites, as long as one of my lowest skills is a difficult one to train, and it's definitely one of the best D&Ds that you can do every single week. Next up is number 6, and this one is Troll Invasion. So this is a monthly D&D, and one thing I should probably clear up right now is I'm basing all of these D&Ds and comparing them off of the reward that you get every single time you do the D&D. Obviously, most of these D&Ds that we're talking about are weekly, not monthly like Troll Invasion, so yeah, you'll get more XP overall from a weekly D&D than a monthly one. However, we're just comparing them instance by instance. So now that that's cleared up, Troll Invasion is one of the easiest D&Ds to do, and it's always one of the most exciting things to do every single time the month resets. So the first of every month, you can go ahead and do another run of Troll Invasion. It only takes a very short amount of time, especially if you do the hard waves, because you only have to face 7 waves. You can get it done in like 3 or 4 minutes flat, and you get a nice juicy XP reward at the end that you can put in any skill. So it's just no holds barred, some of the best XP for a really short amount of time, and you can slap it in a hard skill like agility. I always personally do agility, or any skill that's either expensive or hard to train, or that you just flat out don't like. So Troll Invasion is awesome. It's a must do every single month for everyone, in my opinion, and that's one of the reasons why this is one of the better D&Ds. Is it's something every single person should be doing, and there's really no excuse not to. Unless you're a skiller, and if you are, in that case, disregard everything I just said and don't worry about it. Next up on the list is a monthly D&D that truly is for everyone. So similar to Troll Invasion, you can't do this one that often, and also you get more XP in this mini game by quite a bit than you do from Troll Invasion. But the main difference between God Statues and Troll Invasion is you don't get to select what skills you get the XP in God Statues. It's always construction is the main skill that you get XP in, and then for the secondary you can get a choice between Slayer and Prayer. I always personally go for the Prayer because Prayer costs money, Slayer does not. Slayer is fun to train, Prayer, well, that's debatable, and that's really up to you. Also, one of the best things about this God Statues D&D is you can also get a hammer and chisel related to the god that you choose, and you can just talk to the dude who's running the statues and select which one you want from him, and that's an additional 1% bonus construction XP when you're doing construction. Doesn't work with the statues for whatever reason, but if you are turning items into furniture in your house, then make sure to bring that along and do your God Statues run so you can get your chisel. So God Statues are just nice for a bit of free construction XP every month, and there's 4 statues. You'll see where they are during this short run, and an additional 5th one that you'll unlock when you get to Elf City as well. And around 99, it all adds up to about 150k construction XP a month, which is really not that bad at all. Next up on the list is probably my personal favorite D&D in Sinkholes, and we finally have a daily distraction and diversion, so one that you're not incredibly limited by how many times you can play. You can do this one twice a day, and good thing that you can too, because this is how you get 120 DG if you are patient and don't feel like you have to grind it out right away. This is one of the better ways to do it, and you don't spend a whole lot of time for the immense amount of Dungeoneering XP that you get. The XP, of course, like almost everything in the game, is based off of what level you are, but it's really good no matter what level you are. And this also isn't just for getting 120. You can get to 99 DG as well, just slowly. You can either go with friends, which is the fun way, I'd recommend that, or you can go with randoms on the official Sinkholes world, which is laggy and less fun, but still very rewarding. So if you want Dungeoneering XP, and you also get a small amount of tokens as well from doing the minigame, or more tokens if you get one of the token rewards at the reward chest at the end, this can be extremely rewarding. And this is essentially, as I said earlier, how you get 120 DG. You do this, and you do daily Dungeoneering challenges, and a few months of that, boom, 120 DG. I personally would have put this D&D at number 1 on the list if I could have found any way to justify doing that, but regardless, it's still one of the best D&Ds in the game and extremely rewarding. And now we're finally into the top 3. So at number 3 we have Big Chinchompa, and this is the way that you train Hunter in 2015. So if any of you have trained Hunter recently, you probably already know all about Big Chinchompa, but if you haven't, this is another D&D that you can do twice a day, and you're going to see a recurring theme with those type of D&Ds in the top 4 here, because most of the ones that you can do twice a day are really worth doing. But the reason why I say this is the way that you train Hunter, as in there's not really another way to do it, at least at high levels, is because not only is the XP from this minigame pretty solid, at level 92 plus Hunter, you will get around 110,000 Hunter XP per day by doing your 2 Big Chinchompa games, but you can also use the points that you get from Big Chinchompa to buy Grenwall tickets, and then you can use those Grenwall tickets for some mad gains. Because every day, if you do both games and you get the maximum amount of points, that's 300 total Grenwall tickets, or around 350,000 Hunter XP, and they do not take long to use at all. It's pretty much the best way to trade Hunter in the game, barring some weird stuff including brawlers. And also, speaking of brawlers, this is the best place to use them because you get a really large XP drop every single time you turn in the moths, and of course brawlers are based on number of uses, and even though it's only plus 50% of the XP used outside of the wilderness, it still increases your XP drop in Big Chinchompa quite a bit. So if you have Hunter Brawlers, use them here. And now we're finally getting into the two best D&Ds in the entire game, and hopefully there won't be a whole lot of dispute over these because these two are really, really good. But at number 2, we have Guthixian Caches, and the reason why these are so good is because it turns divination from a really slow, really boring, I know that's debatable, but come on, it's not one of the more fun things to do in the game, into you do this twice a day and you get 99 divination in a few months with no hassle whatsoever other than having to do 2 caches per day. Now, unfortunately, you can only do these once every 3 hours, so unlike a lot of the other twice a day D&Ds, it can be a bit harder to work into your schedule, but if you can manage it, then you're going to be rewarded with the best way to train divination in the game, and if you have patience, you'll never even have to touch the skill of divination, which is really an exciting prospect because divination the normal way is slow. So Guthixian Cache is definitely worth it for my money. So if you're someone that's looking to max in the next year or so, just do this twice a day, don't even bother with divination, you'll still get your cape and you won't even have to touch the skill at all. That's why this game is so high up in the list, completely replaces a skill and does it in a way that will save you a ton of time and a ton of pain. And now we finally get to the number 1 spot in the list. Now this is probably not that much of a surprise that Warbands is number 1, but come on, son, we all knew that it was coming. So the thing with Warbands is, I wouldn't really call it so much of a bi-daily D&D with the other 3 in the top 4, which are bi-daily D&Ds, but you can definitely do it more than once a day if you'd wish, but you can loot 75 supplies per day, and all the supplies give a lot of XP, around 100k XP if you get a full inventory of supplies at around level 90. So of course this is very old footage, it's been a long time since I've done any warbands at all, because mostly you can't do warbands in an Iron Man, which is unfortunate. Although this can be one of the more frustrating D&Ds to do because it requires you to be in a friends chat or some sort of team where you can coordinate and keep each other safe, because of course it's in the wilderness, and after you start looting, people can kill you for your supplies very easily if you're not a part of a team to keep yourself safe. It still is one of the best things that you can do for XP in the entire game, and it can turn 5 skills into you just do this and you don't even have to train the skills at all with farming, smithing, herblore, construction, and mining. And that's amazing. With Guthixian Caches, you can only do that with 1 skill, and with Big Chinchompa, you can also only do that with 1 skill. Warbands allows you to do that with 5 skills if you have enough patience to do all 5 of them, which admittedly would take a long time, but it's certainly possible. So that's why Warbands is so good. Of course, like most mini games, it only gets really good as your skills get high. At lower levels, it gives significantly less XP, but it's still worth doing, and if you find a good friends chat or team, this is your way to go for a lot of XP per day in 4 of the more difficult Bibles to train in the game, and it's just really worthwhile. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you for watching, and also if you have any suggestions at all for future top 10s, feel free to leave those in the comment section and you will be accredited at the start of the video if you have a good suggestion, and a lot of you do, but I can't take all of them. So that's going to do it for this video. If you want to watch the rest of the top 10s, link for the playlist is on screen and also in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.